Welcome to the latest episode of Cross Corner. Today's guest is a singer and actress. She developed her love of performing and appearing on stage at age 3 with ballet dancing. At age 5, she played the role of Chip in Beauty and the Beast. By age 10, she was already working with such established stars as Molly Ringwald. Other roles include Christmas All Over Again with Joey Lawrence, Saving Christmas with the iconic actor Ed Asner, and many, many more, which we're going to get into later in the interview. I can hardly wait to talk about that. Her love of singing and songwriting also began at a very early age. She co-wrote her original song, Hurricane, with Robbie Rosen of American Idol fame at age 13. At age 17, she was signed to Suave Records and hasn't looked back since. Her latest single, Temporary, was released March 9th on the Hot Vibes record label. It had an incredible 29,089 streams in one day on Spotify. So what am I waiting for? Let's get right to it. Please welcome the extremely talented Lexi White to the Claws Corner. Lexi, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. I had so much fun doing my research on you, and I'm just so impressed. I mean, I mentioned that number just in one day, but you updated me before the interview started. How many streams has that song Temporary, which was released only on March 9th? Right now, it's only March 22nd. How many streams do you have so far?
So in less than 2 weeks, we have over 200,000 streams on Spotify. I'm in awe. I don't know how to feel about that. That's like insane to me.
Feel good. Feel very good about that.
I definitely feel very good. It's still so surreal. It just makes no sense. I'm like, there's no words. There's no words.
Do you have somebody marketing for you?
No, just me and my mother, I guess.
Oh my God. Wow. She is the best momager.
She's a very good momager. That woman, oh, she's got it down pat. She knows what she's doing.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because I had your brother Tyler on the show about maybe 6 months ago, and your mother. I'm friends with both of them on Facebook. I see everything you two do because, and not even from your Facebook page, not even from your brother's Facebook page. It's always your mother. Tyler did this. Lexi's over here. I love it.
Oh, she's so proud of us. She's very supportive. Same with my dad, my whole family even. They're very supportive of everything that we do. I have a little brother too. He's great in basketball. And so everyone is just very supportive of us. We're all very, very achieving. We're doing great things for our ages. So it's really awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
We're all very proud.
at this talk, you think you have your 19th birthday coming up, so you're only 18 right now.
Yeah.
You've already accomplished. We're going to talk about all the different things you've accomplished. I just gave a partial list. I mean, you wrote you're doing ballet at 3. By 5, you were acting. By 10 and 13, you wrote your first song. But I want to talk about Temporary right now because that was the song that was just released. It has the astronomical amount of streams.
Yeah.
So what is that song about?
So I wrote this song after I was getting led on by a boy that was playing with my feelings. And this was last year. So EMDI and BRT, they actually collabed on this mix together. They created an instrumental and they sent it to me and my co-writer and vocal producer, Robbie Rosen from American Idol. And it was like, hey, we think that your voice would be amazing on this track. How about you hop on the beat, give us some bars, and get the mix together, and then we'll let you know what we think. I was like, okay. So Robbie and I were in this writing session, and I was kind of just like, this is what's going on in my life right now. This is what I want to stem from. So we wrote about this boy that was playing with my feelings, and he was always coming and going in my life, saying he wanted to be with me romantically, but he couldn't be, saying he wanted something with me, but he didn't know how to. So he was always coming and going. It was like every 2 weeks he would pop back in after being gone for a month, always trying to come back into my life. So I wrote the song Temporary, saying how he was never fully there. And honestly, I'm glad he's not. So
I was just going to say, all of your fans could really thank him right now.
Oh, they could very much thank him. Oh, I'm not really shopping though, but
I don't really think the song Permanent would have been as good as Temporary.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny because my current boyfriend now says that joke all the time. He's like, what if I put out a song called Permanent? How would you feel? It'll get better streams than that. I was like, oh my gosh, please.
No competition though.
No competition, no. It's all love, of course. Of course.
You know what I love? Most people say, write what you know. I mean, at such an early age, most people don't have that maturity to be able to do that. So I'm really impressed, not only with everything you've done so far, but at this age, you could say, well, this is how I feel. I want to put it on paper and I want to make a song out of it. So you mentioned EMDI and BRT. For my fans out there and viewers, who are they? I know they're musicians, but who exactly are they?
EMDI and BRT, they are a sound house, slap house, instrumental beat drop duo. They are not exactly always partners, but they do tend to partner together. They're both very individual artists, but they do collab on projects together because they bring out great qualities in each other because they both are very, very talented musicians. They are very awesome house DJs. And so when they come together, I've done 2 songs with both of them. And then my first song, Better Without You, that one was just with EMDI. Rec was with EMDI and BRT. And then Temporary was again with EMDI and BRT. They are a great mix together. EMDI is very talented. That was the first producer I ever worked on a song with, and he tied it all together. It was amazing. The first time I ever heard a mix from going from a piano ballad demo track to a house slap mix masterpiece. Like it was amazing to see that and to watch the progress go. It was just awesome.
Now, did they approach you?
Well, kind of a little bit of both. So for Temporary, they did approach me about that. For Better Without You, which was my first one, that was my first record deal, we approached EMDI. Robbie is good friends with EMDI. They actually have some songs out together themselves. Robbie is also an amazing singer. He has songs out all the time. Like he's put out tons of songs every like week. He puts out like maybe 3 a week or so. He's very talented and very on top of his game. He's so amazing, and I very much look up to him. Like if there's one person that inspires me with music, I think it's definitely Robbie. Because I've been working with him since I was 12, 13 years old. So when I think of like if I'm writing a song just on my own, I'm like, okay, well, what would Robbie write? What would Robbie sing? How would Robbie sing this? And that's kind of how my brain works in that kind of situation.
I like that. But all right, so another question. You're 12 years old. How'd you come into contact with Robbie?
Oh, you're going to love this story. We talked about Ed Asner before. Here's the story. So Ed Asner gets this award, Lifetime Achievement Award. It's in Long Island, New York. He invites my mom to go with him as his date, even though he's like father figure to her, but whatever. And so they go together, have a great time. Robbie Rosen is opening up the ceremony. He's singing. And of course, my mom, she's an Italian woman and she is a talker. She goes up to him and she says, my daughter likes to sing too. So maybe you guys could meet, maybe you guys could work on like vocal exercises and stuff, like just like prompting him maybe as like a vocal coach or something like that. But then it ended up going so much further than that. And we ended up writing our first song together, Hurricane. And then we did a music video for that. And the guy that directed the music video, his father was in charge of who sings for the Mets at Citi Field in New York. And his father asked, James Phillips, his father asked me to sing for them. Not once, not twice, but 3 times I sang for them.
3 times the charm.
Very exciting.
Did the national anthem, I'm guessing.
I did the national anthem, and then I did God Bless America twice. So that was during the 7th inning stretch.
I really need your mom to represent me.
Honestly, she probably would. She definitely would.
If you're listening right now, watching this, I need your representation. I like what you're doing. So you two have been working together. You and Robbie have been working together ever since then. And with all the songs. And does he always help co-write the songs?
He does, because I could write by myself, but I feel as though I work better bouncing ideas off of someone else, especially someone who is at a lot higher writing level than I am. Robbie has been doing this for years. He's been musically inclined since he was probably like, I think in 2nd grade it was. He's absolutely amazing. He plays so many instruments. He plays his vocal cords like crazy, like there's no tomorrow. Crazy range, agility, everything to hit all these different notes. He's amazing. And so being able to work with someone of that kind of expertise is just it's a lot smoother of a process than if I was to just do something myself, if that makes sense.
And I love that because some people might have an ego and say, oh, I don't need any help. I think it's better if you work with somebody who's been in the business a lot longer and maybe is at a different peak than you. So then you can learn. Like I love that attitude because you're learning from them saying, I don't need your help. I'm good enough right now. I have like 200,000 streams. Who needs you? So I love the fact that you are very humble, and that makes it even better because you're learning so much from people that have already been where you are right now.
Well, there's always work to be done. I mean, yes, right now I'm at 200,000 streams in less than 2 weeks, but I want to get to the point where it's 200,000 streams in an hour. That's my goal. I want to be able to be where I am right now within the first hour of a song dropping. That's what I want to get to in my life.
You know what? When, not if, when that happens, we're gonna have you live on the Claws Corner. We're gonna spread to the world. Like, all right, right now, making 221,000 in
All
1
right, we
hour.
will do that. We will do that. I'll hold you to it.
Oh, you don't have to. I'm
call
definitely.
you.
No, definitely. We're friends on Facebook now. You know how to get in touch with me. Please reach out to me.
Okay.
So, what's your process? Do you help write the music as well, or do you just write the lyrics?
Robbie kind of does the music. He does the music. I give the inspo for the song, and then we create a Google Doc and we bounce different words or phrases that remind us of this topic. And then we kind of just write verses or just lines of lyrics that correspond with the topic and the little words or phrases that we already previously wrote on this document. And we kind of just go from there. And then it's always like, A, B, A, B for the verse. And then, we got the pre-chorus, the chorus, second verse, pre-chorus, chorus. And then that's pretty much how it is with EDM music, at least. So
For you, did you take singing lessons at a very, very early age?
no.
Not at all. It's just all natural talent.
I guess you could say that. I guess so.
Wow.
Thank you. But no, I took singing lessons for a little bit, maybe like a year of my life. I actually took religious synchronized singing lessons, but I haven't taken a lesson in a very long time, and I definitely need to get back into that. I got to keep the voice healthy, got to keep it growing. I do a lot of vocal exercises on my own, like I just look them up on YouTube, like as warm-ups and stuff, but there's definitely a lot more that I need to know because again, there's always work to be done. So
Right. One of the things I think would be so tough, which might be easy for you, were you ever taught to breathe through your diaphragm? Because they say
that
singers
is
are.
something that I was taught, and I'm very, very able to do that, and I'm very happy that I could do that. It makes holding a note so much easier, and it makes hitting a note so much easier. It just feels like a breath of fresh air instead of feeling like strained, if that makes sense.
That
But
does.
yeah.
Oh, very cool. So you right now, how many songs do you have released? 3?
So technically I have 4, but I have 3 songs that are out with record deals, so I really only count 3. But really there is 4.
Hurricane would be the 4th one, or
Yes.
is that the 4th one? And that was the one you wrote at age 12 with
Yep.
the video. Is that so? That never made it to the record, but it's out there on YouTube land for people who want to check it out.
Yeah. I mean, we
Okay,
never
good.
actually tried or like reached out to a record label to get it signed or anything, but we've had a lot of luck with these songs. So it's like the first label that we contact that we're like, hey, maybe you want to sign this, put this out. This is the mix we got going. Like that'll be like me, EMDI, and BRT will like send out an email. And we haven't gotten denied by our first email yet. So like it's been crazy. So Better Without You with EMDI, that got signed to Suave Records. That came out June 18th or June 17th this past year in 2022. Then we had Rec, which was with both EMDI and BRT. That came out in October. That was signed to Storm Music Group Records. And then the third song with the record deal, Temporary, which is my latest release, that's with both EMDI and BRT again, and that is signed to Hot Vibes Records.
Why did you have a different label for each song? Just that you wanted to release a single and then you found somebody else approached you and said, "Oh, I would love to have you on my label"?
It's a
Like, how'd that
variety,
come about?
more
Yeah.
exposure.
Mhm.
Every label has its own audience. Not everyone is the same, although the type of music is the same. All these labels are from different parts of the world. None of these are in the United States. So it's very, very different types of people, kinds of people listening to this music. Different areas of the world are going to be listening to different, they're going to listen to the record labels where they are. So it's a lot more exposure, and it's very interesting to see the rates. Like I go on like my Spotify for Artists app, and I get to see all the statistics of what's going on with my songs, and seeing that my song has been played 912 times in India and, 2,000 times in Aruba. Like that's crazy. That is crazy to see, but that's what makes it so much more worth it going overseas for labels because it's that much more exposure. Like when do you hear that your song is getting played in Aruba as a girl from Connecticut? Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, you know what? You bring up a great point because a lot of people, a lot of musicians, older musicians, complain about things like Spotify, Amazon Music, and they're like, "Oh, I miss the good old days because we really don't get paid," which is probably true. You're probably getting pennies for each song, but back then you didn't have the exposure that you have now. Now, as you just mentioned, you'd be played all over the world just with the touch of a button instead of just oh, here my album's coming out and maybe you get 400,000 people listening to it, which is a great number, but
Yeah.
so
No, social media too is a very good thing,
yeah.
especially in this day and age. Like it, obviously, obviously everything has its downs, but there are a lot of perks for being a singer, being able to promote yourself without needing someone to, put you in a magazine, like how they used to do and how else they would promote, like in the newspapers and stuff. Obviously they still do that, but you just press post on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram and it blows up from there. Like on TikTok, I did one video and I wore my mom's dresses from different events that she went to because my mom's an actress and my parents met on Law and Order because my dad's was an assistant director on there for 13 years. So I wore a couple of her dresses in the video saying which like events she wore them to, like the Emmys and stuff like that, and that got 7.1 million views. And my TikTok followers went from less than 1,000 to 15.5 thousand. So
Wow.
now it's like crazy. And I have fans, and they call themselves the Sexy Lexi Squad, and that's sexy with an I to match the spelling of my name. So it's kind of crazy. And people
That
are
is
like, "Oh my gosh,
great.
I love you. You're my idol." I'm like, that's crazy to me. I don't know.
No, that's
I I
great.
love it though. It's great.
I like you should get like a background singer, Lexi and the Sexy Lexis.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
That is
much.
funny.
That's
I love.
us. That's my squad.
A lot of musicians I've been interviewing lately also said this. They said that they prefer to release singles instead of albums because they said people, it's more of an ADD nation. People have such short term um, attention span where they said, well, I'd rather release a song and then maybe another month release another one, maybe another month release another one instead of releasing a full album like they did in the past because people release and you're like, oh, whatever happened to them? I haven't heard from them in a while.
Yeah.
So I think do you prefer that as well, releasing singles at a time instead of a full album?
I mean, I haven't been working on an album. I don't see myself having one out anytime soon because the rates with singles are a lot better, especially as a newer artist. Once you have a name for yourself, an album is what you need. If you have that big fan base and people want more music from you, where a single isn't enough to satisfy them, that's completely different. Like Ariana Grande, I am begging her for another album, but no one is begging me for one yet. Once it gets to that point, then we could talk albums. But as for right now, I'm really satisfied with my singles. The rates that they're going at are pretty awesome considering. So
I really think the Sexy Lexis have a different opinion. I think they want an album from you.
I mean,
My guess.
they asked a couple times, but I don't know. I even have fan pages on TikTok. Like they make edits of me. Like I'm like, who am I?
I
I'm
love it.
so flattered. I'm so honored. I don't understand what I did to deserve this. I I'm still at a loss for words. I feel like life is just treating me so well, and I don't know what to do about it. So
Best thing is that you're appreciating it. I can tell like how appreciative you are, and you're not taking it for granted. So that's a great thing. That
I
so
could
and
never. I very much take everything very much to heart. My parents have taught me and my siblings how to be very grateful for what we have because we we're a type of family that we see what goes on in the world, and a lot of people aren't as fortunate to be able to go for these opportunities. Like obviously I work for what I do. It takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of hard work, but connections do also have a big effect on things. Connections don't secure a deal for you. They don't secure a role for you in a movie, but it does open the door little smidge, but it's up to you to kick that door open. So obviously, I am very fortunate with the doors that my parents have opened for me, because honestly, none of this would happen if my parents weren't who they are now. But I did also make this pathway for myself. They gave me an opportunity for an opportunity, but I'm the one that really walked that path by myself.
I always said that. I said, they gave you the key, but you got in there and you proved yourself. They could have given you the key. You could have opened the door, and if you didn't have the talent to back it up, they would have been like, "Yeah, okay, thanks anyway." So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great mixture of both. It's great to have that connection, but if you didn't have those connections, I mean, if you didn't have the talent to back it up, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. So definitely, and I've listened to this. The only one I haven't listened to yet was Hurricane. I haven't seen that one yet, but I've listened to all the other ones, and you are extremely talented. I loved every song.
Thank you.
Another one I want to talk about is, well, you mentioned it already, but I want to talk about the song Wreck. What's the inspiration for that song?
Whew. Okay. Oh, this is deep. This is very, very deep. So, um, an ex-boyfriend of mine and ex-friends of mine too. People are not always the nicest, and I feel like I have had bad luck in that department up until now. Right now, my life is, decent, knock on wood, but the people in my life, I love the people that I have in my life and the people that support me. That's what keeps me going. But for a while, a couple years ago, it was very rocky for me, and I feel like I didn't know who my real friends were. I was in a relationship that was not very healthy for me. And so that's what Rec is about. The words for the pre-chorus are that you'd manipulate me, always blame me, use your words just to degrade me like you hate me. And yeah. So it's pretty much just a direct target to whoever has hurt me. That's pretty much what that is.
You know what? Somebody mentioned it, because I went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and I went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting, like I said, and one of the DJs there said a lot of people, when they're most happy, are the least creative. A lot of people, when they're at their worst, maybe not the worst, but when something's going on, some kind of conflict, and you can correct me if I'm wrong how it works for you, but most people say that's when the most creativity comes out, because you just are writing, doing whatever you want to do. If you're singing
Yep.
or writing a book, and that's when you have and then when you get wealthy and you're relaxed, you get comfortable, and maybe you're like, you sort of become more apathetic. So in a
Yeah.
way, and it's done very well for Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That is an understatement. Oh my gosh, she's on another world tour right now. She is living her life, slaying the game over here. I can't. But no, like you said, I feel like writing from a darker place, from conflict and those emotions, that is definitely what gets the creativity going. I feel like
Yeah.
for me, it's a lot easier to write from a bad experience. Like right now, I'm in a very happy, very loving relationship with my boyfriend, and like Robbie joked about it one time, and he said, maybe we should be writing some happy love songs. I was like, yeah, I don't do that. I don't know how to do that. That's foreign to me. I don't get it. So it's just, some things come easier than others. And you would think that happy songs are easy to write, but I think those are the hardest. I tried. I can't make a song about how much I love this boy. I can't. I'm trying. Like, I'm making that my homework, and I'm going to make a song for his birthday. I'm going to have it fully mixed, telling him how much I love him in a song. But how do you say that without saying it?
Wow.
That's the key. I don't know how to get that key, and it's driving me nuts.
You have to tell him to stop being such a great guy to you.
I said that to him. I was like, can you just treat me bad for like a week so I could have some inspiration, please? Like, I'm at a dull stop right now. I don't know what to write about. There's nothing bad. I'm sick of it. I don't know what to do.
I'm too happy. I can't stand it anymore.
I'm too happy. It's so annoying. I'm tired. I'm tired.
Write a song about how tired you are of being happy.
It's exhausting. Smiling all the time, just out of habit. Like it's very infuriating. I don't know. I'm getting sick.
I have so much sympathy for you. I feel so bad for your life right now.
I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Your condolences really resonates with me. Thank you. Thank you.
You have the will to go on.
I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying.
All right. Dude, see, you're already inspired. By the time we're done with this episode, you're gonna have a new song.
I just don't want to be happy anymore. That's gonna be the new.
Pretty soon you'll be crashing Ticketmaster as well.
Oh, I wish. That's my dream. That's my dream.
Do you play out anywhere in the area?
No, I haven't. I mean,
Right?
there was one time when, well, my only live performance with my songs was on Channel 8, no, Channel 3 News. Um, yeah, that was in October. That was when Rec came out. I sang that live on air. And that was really cool. That was a really cool experience because I had like the backing track vocals like with the harmonies and then I was singing live. So it was like very cool, like surround sound feeling. It was really awesome. So that's the only live performance I've ever done. I would love to do more. That would be awesome.
Sure. I mean, there's so many great local places in the area that would love to have you. But it's funny because you're so young, they might not let you in. You might not be old enough to be in these places. But
That's okay. I won't go in the bar area. That's fine.
oh, exactly. I'll sing over here. They can drink over there. I don't care.
Set up some connections for me.
I will. You know what? I definitely will because I through comedy. I did comedy for about 5 years, and I have a lot of friends that are in bands. I'm gonna talk to some people that because I know a lot of people that own clubs. So I'll be
Okay.
in touch with them.
Thank
Yep.
you so much, Rich.
Oh,
Thank you.
you're very welcome. I feel so bad because you're far too happy, and I need to do something for you.
You know, yeah,
We're
it's
gonna
been rough. It's been rough.
no, I know. Hopefully, you can go on. So, how many? Right, we talked about temporary. How many streams you had? Now, Rec. How many streams did you have with that one?
So I'm pretty sure that in like the first, it took like about 3 weeks or so to hit 100,000 streams. I'm pretty
That's
sure
great.
that's what the rate was.
Yeah.
So the rate that, and same thing with Better Without You, it took a little longer than how it is now to just hit 100,000. So the rate that Temporary is going at right now with Hot Vibes, it is skyrocketing at a rapid rate. And like Hot Vibes, I've heard a lot of things that they are very good with streams, that they get a lot of streams. And I don't know exactly how that works. Like, I don't know how different record labels have more like pull than others, but it's very interesting to see the numbers climb. And so I myself don't exactly have a name for myself, but EMDI and BRT do. So they have over millions of monthly listeners on Spotify, people that follow them. And their names are on songs that I'm on. Our names are together. So whoever listens to it on EMDI and BRT's pages, they also listen to it on mine. So I'm stealing clout from them, but it's also my own. So it's my voice on the track. So I guess that's like rightfully so, but it's really cool to watch that though, because now that Temporary's out, it's not like the numbers for that are just climbing, but Rec and Better Without You are also going up pretty well right now too. So it's pretty cool to see that because there's like on Spotify, there's a Lexi White radio. I'm like, who am I? I'm verified on there. Who am I? Like, yes, I may have gotten 3 record deals, but I'm still this little girl from Connecticut. I go to a community college for my degree. So it's like, I don't even, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. Life is just so weird. It just makes no sense. I don't even get it.
Good kind of weird that I would like to have. Where like I had so much success. I don't know why, but it's
Good
a good
weird.
thing to have.
So
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, why is this happening? Like, I don't understand.
Something else that happened I want to
But
talk about.
very thankful. Very thankful.
Yeah, no, that I could definitely tell. And I said, I love that. I love people that are appreciative of what they had instead of just going the other way, where they get to a certain level and they're so full of themselves, like, huh, I'm a star now. Like you're gonna be knocked off your
There's always
little
work to be
platform
done.
soon.
Always.
Exactly. Well, another thing you've done, I'm really curious how this happened, was Aeropostale stores. Your music is being played there. How'd that get started?
I honestly had no idea that it was being played there. I haven't gone to a mall since like before COVID.
Yeah.
And someone texted me a couple weeks after Rec was released. So this was in like October, November time. And they said, "Hey, I'm in Danbury Mall right now and your song is playing." And they sent me a video. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what store are you in?" They're like, "Aeropostale." I was like, "You're lying." They were like, "Did you hear it?" I was like, "Yeah, but what?" Like that is crazy to me. That is absolutely insane.
Yes. So
I mean,
obviously,
who am I? Like that how
I was just going to ask you. I mean, maybe they got permission from which song was that? Was that from Hot Vibes record or was it the other record label? They must have had
that
to
was
get permission.
That was from Store Music Group. They don't necessarily need like permission,
Uh,
but whenever they play it and it's like in a store like that, that's money in our pockets. So they don't really got to ask for permission for that because we're, I guess, benefiting from it. So
yeah, you know what? I really wouldn't care. Like, I mean, you're going to get a little bit of money from that, but also you're going to get
yeah,
so much exposure. People are being involved. Oh, what
so much.
song is this? Who's that?
It's crazy, like a crazy amount of exposure. Like this was a girl that I haven't spoken to since my freshman year of high school, and she texts me out of the blue. She's like, "Hey, your song is great. I just heard it in Danbury Mall." I'm like, "Oh, thank you. You're lying. Thank you." Like, what is going on? It's just the life is too happy. It has to stop.
Okay.
Rich, I'm sick of it. I don't know what to do.
You
It's
just
very
have to
frustrating.
stop being so, you
I'm
just have to be
trying.
stop being so damn happy. Something's got to go wrong.
I
We
need
need
I
another song. Something needs to go wrong.
That's what I'm saying. I'm telling my amazing, loving, caring boyfriend, be mean to me, please. Like just like as my birthday gift, my birthday's in 2 weeks, everyone listening. It's in 2 weeks. Like as my birthday gift, he should just be mean to me. So I have some
Say,
songwriting inspiration.
I say completely blow off your birthday. Don't talk to you for a month,
That's
and
what I'm
just
saying.
let you write maybe an album's worth of songs, and then you get back together, and life can go on. I like
That's
it.
exactly what I'm saying. Rich,
That's
you get it.
I do get it. I do
We're
get
on
it.
the same wavelength. It's just we're twins at this point. I don't.
Exactly. So, how many countries are you currently streaming in then?
Let's check. Let me look right
Right,
now.
love it.
On
We're getting a
Spotify.
live update here on the Claws Corner with Lexi White.
We're getting a live update. So right now we see the number climbing with the amount of listeners. It's really cool. It's kind of blurry, I'm sorry. But right now it's actually at 218,980 streams and 44 people are currently listening right now to Temporary. So that's very exciting. Let's see.
I think you're going to up my ratings. I love this. People are going to want to say, "Oh, wait, I want to see Lexi White on this interview." So, I think you're doing me more of a favor than I'm doing for you.
So right now the top country that it is being played in is Brazil.
Oh, wow.
Brazil. Then there's Poland, Mexico, Germany, Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, Spain, Chile, India, Netherlands, Colombia, Italy, Switzerland, Belgium. Wow.
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 What about the U.S.? Did we even make the list?
Oh, well, they're on there too, but I just figured that was like a given, I guess.
That's
But that's crazy. That's actually the first time I actually read a lot of that list. That's insane. Wow.
that's very, very important. Unfortunately, it's going to make you even happier reading it. So,
I know. Like, why? Like, ugh.
sorry.
Rich, you're prompting this. This is your
Well,
fault.
it is my fault, and I take full responsibility. And I'm going to make it even worse for you because I think this is something else that is a great achievement. What was it like working with producer Earl Cohen, who worked with Lady Gaga, Usher, The Temptations, Anita Baker, and Lexi White?
He is amazing. When I tell you he is a star and he knows how to produce stars because he has. Like he was one of the first producers that worked with Lady Gaga. He obviously no one can make Lady Gaga but Lady Gaga, but he helped her get to where she is today and winning an Emmy, Grammy, what is it? Emmy? Yeah.
No, Grammy. Grammy is music, Emmy's TV.
Ah, Grammy. So he won a Grammy for her first album. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of songwriting inspiration over the summer. So one of my good friends, Aylin Maldonado, she passed away from osteosarcoma cancer in July and was very close with her, very close with her family. And after she passed, there was a very, very dark point in my life. And it's still there. It comes and it goes as grief does, but she was very young. She was only 16 when she passed. And so it was very sudden almost too. No one was really expecting that to happen. So it was just very interesting that that was the outcome. Just very awful, very everything not good. And so a couple weeks before she passed away, I started writing a song with Earl for her as like a fight song, by Rachel Platten. I don't know if you know that song. This is my fight song. It's like that. And so not exactly like that, but it's, a song of hope that was written for her. And I wrote that with Andrew Thomas. He's an amazing writer too. So we wrote that together with Earl, and she passed away before she could even listen to it. So I ended up singing that at her funeral, which was very hard for me to do. But we don't exactly know when that song is coming out. I kind of want to hold on to it for a little bit longer. I want to see if it could get signed to a label before I put it out independently, and because I want it to get the recognition it deserves. I want to put it out as soon as I can, because I want everyone who Aylin loved and everyone who loved Aylin to hear this song. But I also want to make sure that it gets the right attention that it deserves, because it's such a heartfelt song for her. Like, I feel like holding on to it is what would make it a lot better in the long run, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for the right record deal, if there's a record deal to come from it, because I'm still an independent artist. And so this is more of like a ballad pop song. It's not EDM. In EDM music, it's signed to labels a lot. That's like one of the main things. But pop songs, a pop label, that's a lot harder to get signed to, because there's so many pop artists. That's probably the biggest genre there is. So it's a lot more difficult to find the right place for the song, right time for this to come out, because it's very, very special to me. And it's just a very meaningful song.
I'm sure it'll be released at the right place at the right time. And
I hope so.
just like everything else in your life, it's going to go very smoothly and very well.
I hope it does, just for her. Like, I want her to get the recognition that she deserves, because she was so young fighting for her life. And, it's just, she lost her battle. And so she needs to be recognized for how great of a fight she did put up, and how much she was trying, and how much she was living for everybody else. And when she finally put herself first, she was laid for, an eternal nap. So
Yes, well, we did bring it down a little bit.
yeah, a little bit. Well, there we go. Hi guys, I'm Lexi White.
See, I knew I could help you out.
You did help. Thank you.
Well, I want to talk about Lady Gaga, because I am a huge fan of her. But it's funny, because when I first saw a concert, I think it might have been on HBO. I don't know where it was. She had a live concert on one of those streaming services, and I said, she is just a Madonna wannabe. That was when I first saw her. Then I saw her maybe a year or two later. I said, wow, who is this? I didn't realize it was the same one. She definitely found out who she was, and I love her. Like, one of my favorite moments is when she was singing with Metallica. I was saying, James Hetfield, get off stage. Leave Lady Gaga here. She is just can sing any genre of music. She's a great performer. She has an awesome voice, and
she's amazing. Like, she is amazing. When her first album Fame went platinum, Earl Cohen has the giant platinum plaque in his house. So obviously I took a picture with it, and who can say they have that? Like, that's what I mean, is why is this my life? I don't understand.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. I'm a little girl from Connecticut. I'm not even 19. I'm not even legal to go sing in a bar. So I don't even know how that works. Who am I? Like, it makes no sense. I don't get it.
You are Lexi White, damn it.
Damn it.
You're going places.
I hope so. I really hope so, Rich. And you're going to help me get
I definitely am. I really will be making some calls for different places that I know you would be great. Your music will go over very well. So we'll be talking.
All right.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned the first song you had. Your first single was entitled "Better Without You." You co-wrote that with Robbie Rose, and we talked about how you got hooked up with him through a good old family friend, Ed Asner.
Yeah, no big deal. He's just, like my second grandfather figure, but I mean, no big deal.
No big deal.
Never. It's the life I live. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
To me, it's just good old Uncle Eddie. Go on.
Who calls up Ed Asner once a week, once every 2 weeks, and ends the call with, "All right, bye, love you, have a great, whatever." Like, who does that?
Besides Mary Tyler Moore, I can't think of anybody.
That's just That's what I mean. Lost for words.
You know what? I know you. It seems like you have a lot of connections, so maybe we could help each other out. You send some of the people my way. I'll send more people your way. I like this. This is good.
What do you need, Rich? What do you need?
I need some of those stars. I need some of that. Those.
Hopefully, I get that name for myself, and then you got one.
Oh yeah, I already have one. Believe me, I can. I listen to your music. I love your personality. You're definitely going to be going. I'm going to be seeing you up on stage somewhere, big concert tour. Be like, I have backstage passes. No, you don't. Get out of here, kid. But I know Lexi. Yeah, sure you do. Everybody knows Lexi. Come on, get out of here.
That's the dream, Rich. That is the dream.
You're going to be living it very soon. Well, I want to talk about, Robbie Rosen we mentioned with season 10 American Idol. Do you have any plans of going on those reality shows?
No, actually, no, I don't. And not for any like reason. There's not a specific reason. It's just that's not the place in my life where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I feel like there's also a rule that if you've had something signed, you can't participate in that.
Really?
So, yeah. So I wouldn't be able to anyway. I wouldn't be able
funny.
to.
I always say this to people. I can only imagine people like Bob Dylan or Neil Young going up on stage now, and they're like, "You never have a chance in music. Your voice is horrible." So I could picture like these legends from the '60s, in that if American Idol or The Voice or any of those shows, they would Simon Cowell be like, "Really? You want to be a singer?" So it's funny. Like I guess it's a different time. But I'm happy because one of the people I'm going to be interviewing, hopefully, well, I've been going back and forth with him is Constantine. I don't know if you remember him from American Idol. He was on sort of the beginning, like maybe the first 4 or 5 seasons.
I don't even know. I don't think I was.
Yeah, he wasn't. It's funny. He didn't win, but it seems like the people that don't win are the ones that, because he did Broadway after that. He did film.
Ones that don't win, that come in like the top 5. Those are the most successful people ever.
Yeah, exactly. The only one that I know that won that still is doing well is Kelly Clarkson. Oh, and Carrie Underwood.
I was just going to say that. Yep. Same wavelength. Same. I'm telling you, we're the same person at this point. We're twins.
I think we were separated at birth. But...
Kelly Clarkson is amazing too. And her music, like there's one song by her, Piece by Piece, chokes me up every time. Brings me to pieces.
I love her music. I remember when she first came out, I bought the first couple albums and first CD. Now I just stream them. I haven't bought any late, but yeah, anything I listen to her, I love. And I think she is. Well, I think I don't really watch the reality shows that much, but my wife watches them all the time. So I'll come in the living room and I see her The Voice on, and I love the way she and Blake go back and forth. I think they make such a great.
It's so funny to me. I love their connection on the show. It's so sick. Like last year when Ariana Grande was the judge, because Ariana Grande is probably one of my biggest female artists, like that I like would do anything and everything for. That's Ariana Grande or SZA or Summer Walker. I have a very different listening style of music than the music that I do. Although I would really love to do R&B music. That is something that I think I definitely have a voice for. I feel like I have a more soulful, raspy voice. Like even just my talking voice, like you could hear this like, little grit in there, and singing it really does come out, and it sounds amazing and very soulful, very powerful, very impactful. And that's some music I want to try producing and singing next. That's what I want to do.
I love your attitude because I think so many people, and I love people who have an open mind with music, because I can go from Mozart to the Carpenters to Slayer in 10 minutes. A lot of my friends are like, "Oh, it's got to be only metal." It's like you're limiting yourself, and you're closing your mind, because there's so many great. And I think it's going to make you a better singer if you listen to all these different styles of music, and you're going to take a little bit from this, a little bit from that, and it definitely shows in the songs that you've written so far.
That's how you create your own sound as an artist, is by being influenced by many different genres of music and many different artists as your inspiration. Like my biggest inspirations are like R&B, pop musicians, like just for their writing styles, the way they use their voice, the way they like sing certain words, like their inflection, like that is what I pick up on. And I feel like there's little bits and pieces that you could say, like if you listen to my voice, maybe not, at least when I listen back, it's like, oh, I was definitely thinking of Ariana Grande when I sang that. definitely thinking of SZA when I sang that, like things like that. I'm very influenced by different musicians, but my playlists go from Bohemian Rhapsody to Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill to, you know, Summer Walker, SZA, Ariana Grande to Hamilton. It's a very, very wide variety of music in my Spotify playlist. So,
What's funny for newer artists, our friend Jillian that we mentioned that we both know, she says, Rich, you gotta listen to this girl. She's named Olivia Rodrigo. And I said, let me listen. And she showed to me. I love her stuff. Olivia
she's so
Rodrigo.
good.
Yeah. I would have never heard of her if it wasn't for Jillian, but she's shown me all the artists she likes. Another one, I mean, I knew about her, but another one that I like in that is Miley Cyrus. I think I always liked her even when she was on Hannah Montana, the show years ago. I said, this girl's got something. You could just tell.
From the frenetic mind of author Rich Sear. 5 terrifying short stories, now available in one collection. Confessions of a Frenetic Mind. 5 tales of blood-curdling terror, available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
All of a sudden I hear, brim, brim. What's a diaphragm again?
Ha! We caught one.
They're supposed to be weird.
Oh, yeah, no. If you say so.
I've always wanted to be in a movie.
Like in that is Miley Cyrus. I think I always liked her even when she was on Hannah Montana, the show years ago. I said, this girl's got something. You could just tell. And I love her new music. I love everything that she came out with. So it's funny for I like most of the stuff from as I mentioned, I like everything. Like from this weekend, I'm going to see a symphony in New Jersey. And then last week I went to go see Mystic Bowie, which is a reggae band that plays Talking Head songs. Ooh. So it's just, I can go but for newer music, I'm just trying to think of some of the bigger names that like Miley Cyrus, Olivia, and then some of the people you mentioned. Yeah. So there's a lot of good music out there.
Yeah, there is. Like music today, I feel like is so impactful too. Obviously, it's impactful in every generation, every era, but the music that's being put out right now is definitely the peak, in my opinion, of music. I never get tired of the songs that I have on my playlist. I listen to the same things all the time because I don't get sick of them. It's usually R&B. It's usually just R&B, like Brent Faiyaz and who's another one who's another guy? Bryson Tiller, and it's just very much Don Toliver. I love Don Toliver. Recently fell into a Don Toliver phase. And he needs to go on tour because I need to get tickets. Bryson Tiller just announced his tour, but he's not coming to Connecticut. And now I'm sad.
All right. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how sad you are that they're not going on tour. What I think you should do is bring them to Connecticut and have you open up. Or actually have your mom call them up and say, you know what, my daughter's a singer too. She'd love to open up for you.
I think Mama Marisa needs to get on the phone, make some plans, get some things worked out for her daughter. I think that's what needs to happen. And because it's not happening as we speak, I am sad.
And what you're gonna need somebody to introduce you every night on stage. So I'm glad to do that for you.
Rich Sear, I mean that's fine. You are more than welcome to come accompany me. That's more than fine.
I'm willing to ride your coattails.
Okay. I mean, as long as you're willing, that's great.
You mentioned earlier in the interview that you sang at 3 New York Met games as well as the Connecticut Suns game. So once again, how did that come about?
So when I sang for the New York Mets, my first ever original song entitled Hurricane that I wrote when I was 12 with Robbie Rosen. We did a music video for it. James Phillips directed it, and his father, Mark Phillips, was in charge of who got to sing for the Mets at Citi Field in New York. And he asked me to audition to sing God Bless America during the 7th inning stretch. This was in 2017. This was the same year that Hurricane came out. So I was in 7th grade when this happened, and yeah, 7th grade. That's crazy. Looking back on that, I wasn't scared. How did I do that? 42,000 people. How could a little 12-year-old, 13-year-old girl do that? That makes no sense to me. I don't get it.
Sometimes I think it's better when you're that young, you're not thinking like that. As you get older, sometimes you become more self-conscious. So maybe it was better that you were so young that you're like, it's just, for me, it was just the opposite. I was more shy when I was little, and then the older I got, I became more extroverted. But it's just amazing
I just think I've never been shy. That's never really been an issue for me. I'm very much an extrovert. But
I see that.
like, people listening to this interview, they probably think that we've known each other for years. It's been 45 minutes. Like,
I know. We're already the best of friends. It's only been 45 minutes.
We're not even just best of friends. Remember, we're twins.
That's it.
We were lost at birth. You know what I mean?
We've broken through that fourth wall.
We did.
And you also dabbled a bit in politics. You sang the national anthem for both Governor Lendelmont's inauguration in 2019, as well as the opening of the 2020 session for the state Senate.
Yep.
Wow.
That was very awesome. That was really cool because I'm not too much into politics, and at least at the time, I couldn't even vote, and so that was something that I didn't really think about because there was no impact that I actually had politically yet. So being in a space like that, being the youngest person in there with, big age gaps, that was just like very much an honor to open up the day 2 years in a row. Like, that was very, very awesome. Brought my family with me too. They were excited to see it. So it was cool. It was a good time.
Yeah. Well, did he approach you or did you approach them and say?
Honestly, I have no idea for that one. I really don't remember that. I don't know. Oh, no. Okay. So my step-grandfather, Pepe, he actually contacted them and asked if I could sing there because Pepe is very much into politics. Pepe actually had a law passed, and so he is very much in there. He was going to actually run for something. I don't know if he was going to run for something politically. I don't know if it was like mayor or something. I don't know, but he's very, very, very intelligent. And so he contacted the state capitol and was like, hey, my granddaughter is very talented and she would love to sing for you guys. And I don't know that he's doing this. And then they email him back and they were like, we would love to have her, because he sent them like some of my stuff, like when I sang for the Mets and everything. And so then I go over to their house one day because I see my grandparents all the time. I go over there every week, multiple times a week for dinner, just to say hi, stop by for 5 minutes. They're my pride and joy, are my grandparents. And so go over there one day. He's like, do you want to sing at the state capitol? I was like, are you pulling my leg? Like, what are you saying? Are you okay? Are you feeling okay? Like, what's going on? Do we need to take you to the hospital? And he shows me the email, and I'm like, wow. So basically everyone in my family just has connections and is very good at giving me exposure. So basically they're all my biggest fans and they do anything for me because they love me so much and they support me that much.
If Pepe ever decides to run for office, I will vote for him. With the name like Vote for Pepe, he's got my vote.
Vote for Pepe.
Vote for Pepe.
Pepe for president.
Sounds like something from Napoleon Dynamite. Vote for Pepe.
Vote for Pepe. I gotta tell him you said that. He's gonna go nuts when he hears that. Oh my God.
And Pepe, thanks for listening to the show. I appreciate it. So what is your dream collaboration?
Oh gosh.
I know that's a tough one because you have so many different people that you like, but
Bryson Tiller.
Okay.
Bryson Tiller doing like an R&B track. I'm singing to him, he's singing to me. Obviously, not personally, but in the song, it looks like that, even though we're really just singing to the girl or guy in our lives.
Mhm.
And that would be a really cool, like, mirrored song. You know, it could be about loving them enough. It could be about, an issue in the relationship. Who knows? Who cares? Probably an issue because that's a lot easier to write about, as we discussed earlier.
Yes.
Honestly, if I could ever collaborate with him, that would probably be the best thing ever.
All
I'm
right.
gonna have dreams about that now.
We have to make this happen. Anybody watching out there, Momager, Marissa, Pepe, whoever else is
If
watching,
anyone's listening that personally knows Bryson Tiller, call me.
I mentioned that you wrote Hurricane at age 12. Was
Yeah.
that the first song? How old were you when you first started writing songs? Like, when did you realize when you're like, I want to do music, I want to write songs?
I was probably like 6 years old. I still have my first songwriting journal, and it is very embarrassing. It's a little journal I got from Justice, and it has a giant L on it, and it's pink and fuzzy, and it's like a zebra thing. So it's like a pink and white zebra fuzzy cover. And I have songs in there. And I was so heartbroken as a 6-year-old. Like, my lyrics, like, I think I'm gonna steal some of those. Like, she was very talented at that age. Like,
I love it.
she had great inspiration, but for what? Like, who didn't push you on the swings at preschool? Like, what are you heartbroken over, Lexi? Like, I don't understand. So, I don't know. I'll have to go back in time and ask her. I got to figure that out.
Can't wait to hear that song. Mom wouldn't let me have the chocolate chip cookie before breakfast.
She didn't. I'm still mad. I'm still mad.
I'm still trying to get over that trauma.
Rich, you just brought that up, and now all the anger is back.
I told you, I am here to help.
Rich, I don't know. I don't think we could be twins anymore.
Oh no, we could be twins. I'm doing you a favor. Before this end this interview, you're gonna have tears, but it's gonna be tears of joy when you're writing the next hit single.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Speaking of depressing songs, what's your opinion of Billie Eilish? Do you like her?
Love her.
Okay.
Love her.
Because it seems like I don't really know the whole story, but I know she went through a lot in her life. And when that year she won everything, which was what, 2-3 years ago. And I was really glad to see that because I know everything she's been through. And she, like you said, wears her heart on the sleeve.
Yeah.
And she just lets it all out.
Yeah, she does. She's amazing. Like, the way that she writes her songs and the way that she sings them. There's this one Billie Eilish note that, like, even in songs that I've actually put out, there's like this little like dip, if you know what I mean, like something like that. Like, that is a Billie Eilish thing. You hear that, you think, oh, Billie Eilish. And so, like, even when we were recording some of the songs, like in Wreck, I'm pretty sure it was Wreck or Better Without You, one of the two, it had a couple of those little diphthongs in there. And when we were recording it, Robbie was like, do the Billie Eilish thing. I was like, okay. And I knew what he meant. That's how much of a hold this girl, this woman, has on musicians. Like, this is just her power. It's crazy.
Yeah. I love the fact she just came out of, for me anyway, came out of nowhere. It's like,
No, she did. She really did.
Yeah.
Like, crazy.
And now she's singing the title song for James Bond movies. And
yep.
For me, I always say there's a huge difference between being a great musician and a great entertainer. And so for me, like an example would be for a great entertainer would be Michael Jackson, Prince, Paul McCartney, but they're also great musicians too. So for you, like, what would be, I know it's a tough question right off the top of the head, but if you could pick like best musician / performer, what would it be?
And performer?
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Ariana Grande.
I guess it wasn't that hard for you.
Not at all. Because all I do is look up their concert videos and their award show videos. That's all I watch in my free time. Along with Pretty Little Liars and Vampire Diaries. Obsessed with those two. But mostly videos of just Ariana Grande, but Katy Perry and Lady Gaga get thrown in the mix a lot too.
Good, a good group of people that to watch and learn from.
It's a very good mix.
We mentioned earlier that you were signed to Suave Records at age 17.
Yep.
How'd you make that a reality?
I still haven't. It still doesn't feel real. It really doesn't. And even like I have 2 other songs out now since, and it still doesn't feel like it's a real thing. Like I get it. I know it's real, but I don't think it's ever actually hit me how big of a deal this is to have gotten a record deal. 3 of them.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, you've never had the word no uttered in front of you. Like, all right, we'll sign you. All right, we'll sign you. So that's good.
When it comes to my music, I think I'm a little spoiled. I don't know what that is, but there's no words. It doesn't make sense to me. Like it really does not. It still doesn't feel real, and it's been almost a year. So it's crazy.
Yep, it's just gonna get bigger and better. Can't wait.
I hope so. Let's pray, Rich. Let's pray.
Right, well, let's pray now. Yes. Superstar.
Thank you.
Your prayers will be answered.
I feel it already.
No. Got a little tingly on that one myself.
Sparkly.
Well,
The world is there.
But you're gonna call me tomorrow and say, Rich, I wrote 8 new songs last night. Thank you.
How much you want to bet? Actually, no, I'm tired. Maybe not tonight, but in the next week, maybe.
And do you write only when inspired, or can you just sit down? I know you said right now it's kind of a tough time because everything's going so well. But
I know.
Do you just say, like, do you get up at maybe 1 o'clock in the morning and say, oh my God, I have this great idea, and have to write it down before you forget it?
Sometimes, yeah. Like most of the time, I mean, like at least when life wasn't as smooth as it is right now, there was a lot of moments throughout like a week where I would like write down lyrics or just sit down and write a song. Like last year, I got into a car accident, and so I was out of school for a while for the rest of the year. And that was last February. I went to school, but I didn't go full days because I had my 5th concussion. And so I would just be home and I would just play piano, and I would just kind of like make up lyrics, and that was what I did pretty much to like pass the time because I couldn't go on like electronics too much. So I would just, play the piano, come up with some chords, write some lyrics, just write everything down on paper. And yeah. So like music really is my passion, of course, as people may assume, but it's like you don't know that feeling until music is the thing that calms you down when you get anxious, and writing helps you release your emotions instead of, physically crying about it. You're singing it out, like it's like that's how that's what you want to do with your life, if that's the thing that really makes you feel better if you're that sad.
Did you take piano lessons, or is that another one you just learned on your own? Just decide to. Wow. It's like I don't know why I'm surprised, but like a little child prodigy.
Oh, stop it. My older brother, Tyler, like he is a prodigy. He is a prodigy. Same with my little brother, Brandon. He's a prodigy too. They're both so smart. They are both so smart. Like Brandon has straight A's. He's never gotten a bad grade in his life. He's amazing at basketball. My older brother, he's an amazing singer. He's an amazing actor. He does all these plays. He does like the show choir. He does, singing at coffee houses and stuff like that. Like Tyler is so busy. It is ridiculous. He does it all. And yeah. So I think everyone in our family has something going for them, a little bit.
I think you should have like the family act and just go on the road. I don't know if you remember the shows from the 70s, like the Osmonds and Kevin. So you could, the Jackson 5, you could do something like that. Just take the,
well, we actually want a reality show. We want a reality show. So we're thinking about that.
Well, you know what? When you have a reality show, we're going to I'm going to interview you when you're on the reality show so I can do a little promotion too. I like this.
That sounds good.
Well, that was a perfect segue because you're talking about the acting with your brother. And if you want to check that out, that interview is on my YouTube channel, the Rich Sayre channel. can also find Spotify, Audible, iTunes, iHeartRadio. But you are also an actress. At age 12, you portrayed the title role in The Diary of Anne Frank at the Landmark Community Theater.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about that. I'm thinking that there were some awards involved with that one.
Yeah, there were. I don't remember exactly if I won awards for it, but I was definitely nominated for like 2 or 3 of them. But I don't remember if they were. But I won a couple other awards for other shows. So there was like Best Actress in there. Pretty sure that was for Anne Frank. I won Best Actress for that, and then I won Best Actress in a musical for Ragtime. And there was another award I won too, I think. But yeah, so when I did Anne Frank, that was like a very surreal part of my life. I was only 12 years old playing, normally people that play Anne Frank, they are a lot older to obtain the emotional portrayal that is really going on in this story.
Yeah.
And not story, in this part of her life. And doing that at such a young age, I didn't realize how challenging it really would be. Like, it was like acting comes easy, but trying to genuinely feel and actually feeling what this person, like, this isn't a character, this is a real person that you're feeling their emotions. Like, it's not like I was acting, I was genuinely feeling it. Like, the first time we ever rehearsed with the Nazis breaking into the annex and taking us to the camps, like, genuinely scared, screaming, let everything out. Never seen these guys before in my life. We started running the scene, and that's what they did on purpose, which was very good. But, it's crazy how that works. And so it was just a lot different being a 12-year-old, understanding that this is a real person who actually had to go through this. And it made it a very challenging role. And I think it definitely is one of the most challenging roles that anyone could ever portray, because it's a real person. Because you really have to get everything down to a T, between the mannerisms. It was a lot of studying I had to do. Like, it's not just memorizing lines and performing that. Like, there was homework I had to do. I had to watch movies about her. I had to read her diary on my own. And I mean, I didn't have to. I did my homework. I wanted to make the portrayal as heartfelt and real as I could, to make it, because it's for her. It's in honor of her and her life and her story.
I love the fact that everything you're involved with, you put 1,000% into. I mean, at 12 years old, most people are like, I want to go outside and play. I don't have time to rehearse these lines. You're over there reading diaries, watching documentaries. I think people in their 40s are like, I don't have time for this. So there's a reason why you went home with 3 awards that night, or were nominated anyway.
Yeah, 12-year-old Lexi, she was a trooper. She was. She put her heart and her soul into that role. She did. She did a lot that year. She had Hurricane come out in the summer. Then she had Anne Frank in March and April. And then in July, she sang for the Mets. She did a lot that year.
But Lexi was very busy. Wow.
I miss her. I want that life back. I want to be her again. That's what I want. That would make me happy. That would make me have songwriting inspiration.
This reminds me of I don't know if you remember these shows. It was called Behind the Music, where it starts. If you watch it, I think it used to be on the E channel or VH1, where it starts off the musicians at the height of their career. Then they have the part where they're down and out. They don't know what to do with their lives, and they have the comeback. So right now is the part where hopefully maybe in another couple of years you'll have the comeback and be little Lexi to be back. You could do like a Diary of Anne Frank reunion or something.
Oh my gosh, I wish. I hope. Let's do it. Please.
We're gonna make all this happen.
Okay, great.
Well, you mentioned a little bit. In 2017, you played Little Girl in Ragtime, which was another musical. How did you get into acting now? I mean, I know you mentioned some people. We're gonna talk about some of the movies next. Was it through the connections that your parents had with acting? Is that where your love came from?
No, actually, it kind of, unless the love was genetic, but I don't really think that's exactly how it works. I don't know. I kind of just I started doing dance when I was like 3, did ballet, and then I played Chip and Beauty and the Beast when I was like 5, and just since then I just always had a love for performing and being on stage, and then it eventually went into love for being in front of the camera and, being behind a mic. So it just like it kept growing. And so it went in its phases. Like right now I'm definitely in my music phase, but there was a point where it was simply just acting on stage. There was another point where it was simply acting in front of a camera, doing movies, TV shows, commercials, all that good stuff. And so I got my first big role in Wally Lamb's Wishin' and Hopin', which was on the Lifetime channel. And I played Geraldine. That was with Molly Ringwald. Meatloaf was in it, Sherry O'Terry,
Chevy
and
Chase.
yep. And that was a great movie, and it was very, very fun. And there were so many kids my age there because it was like, middle school classroom setting, and it was really fun. We would just like we lived in the hotel with Molly, and we went to Mohegan Sun with her, and that was so fun. Like that was genuinely the best summer I think of my life. And I remember Molly Ringwald saying to me, she said on the last day of filming when we were moving out of the hotel, she said, I was the best child actor that she has ever worked with. And I said to her, I was like, I'm writing that on my grave. And I am. I'm writing that on my tombstone. Molly Ringwald said I was the best child actor. That's what's going on my tombstone. That's all I gotta say.
And we can end the interview right here. That's a perfect way. That's impressive.
Tombstone. Edit the tombstone in right now.
Best actor I ever worked with. But you know what's funny? When I was doing my research on you, I was laughing was people were asking about working with all these people, and you're like, I really wasn't that impressed because like I really didn't know who they were. I was more impressed with these Disney kids that I was working with, which I think is funny. You worked with a lot of these great. I mean, you just mentioned that one movie, Molly Ringwald, Sherry O'Terry, Meatloaf, who's a legend, Chevy Chase, which I think he was the narrator in that movie, if I'm correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you have a chance to meet him?
I don't remember. I don't think so. I really don't think so. But because we wouldn't be filming on the same days.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So
yeah.
Probably not. Unless like we did have a cast party at the end, so unless he was there for that, maybe. But I don't remember. No. I don't know.
All right, well, let's talk about Christmas All Over Again. That starred Joey Lawrence from Blossom, and then he was in another show with his brothers. So he was a big star in the 80s and 90s. Mm-hmm. Did you have any scenes with him? I didn't see that movie, but did you have any scenes with him?
No, but Christy Carlson Romano directed it. She was on Even Stevens and Kim Possible. And then Sean Ryan Fox from Henry Danger was in it. Armani Jackson, he's in this new, I think it's like the Teen Wolf series, the new Teen Wolf that just came out on like Hulu a couple weeks ago or like a month ago. He's an amazing actor too. He recently just like skyrocketed like to fame. And so he's very, very good at what he does. And so I've been keeping tabs on him, watching his work, and he's very talented. And that was a really cool movie. But at this time, before I even like got the role or anything, I was very obsessed with Henry Danger. Yeah. So when I found out that Sean Ryan Fox was going to be on the show or in the movie, I was like, then I found out I had scenes with him. Wow. And I had like a fat crush on this boy. So I was like, famous hot boy from Nick over here. I was like, oh, in love.
You have to make more room in that tombstone.
I know.
Molly Ringwald, Sean Ryan Fox.
Yeah. It was a good time.
Then you worked with Uncle Ed with Singing Christmas. Uncle Ed Asner, Patrick Muldoon, Brooke Langton. That's it.
Yeah, that was a fun movie. I was an ice rink worker, and they ended up cutting my scene, but I still got paid, so who cares? And so I was in that. I had a little monologue. I was just talking about like how much I love Christmas and like people have to believe in Santa. Kids, you need to believe in Santa if you're listening. And so talking about that, and he was very, very sweet when we were on there. Rest in peace to his soul. He was a very kind-hearted man, and he treated our family so amazingly, especially my mother, because they have been friends for years, and she was like a father to him or a grandfather to her, and that was just, very hard watching, her go through her ups and downs with that kind of grief, because the relationship they had is truly like no other, and it's very special what they had. And so it's very inspiring, and when we were on that set together, it was very, very awesome, because it was like it wasn't like, oh, I'm in a movie with Ed Asner, big actor, Mary Tyler Moore. It was, oh my gosh, I'm playing alongside my family friend. Like it was a different kind of yay. So
Yeah.
it was very interesting, because then it's like people are coming up to us saying, Ed, Ed, Ed. And I'm over here. I didn't even know what Mary Tyler Moore was. I was like 12. And I just think, why is everyone talking to Ed like they know him? Like, can they leave us alone? Can we have privacy? Why do they want him right now? Like,
That's funny.
stuff like that. But he was a very, very sweet man. So,
Yeah,
rest in peace to him.
I would have loved to have met him. I've seen interviews with him, and I watched all the shows. I mean, Lou Grant, Mary Tyler Moore, the different movies he was in, and he just seems like obviously you're confirming what I already knew, that he was a great guy. Yeah.
Everything like his characters. Like, he has a very like smart ass sense. Can I say that on here? I don't know.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want here.
Sense of humor,
Yeah.
and he's like exactly like his characters. And then, so this was another thing. I was watching Criminal Minds last year, and come to find out, he played Hotch's father on Criminal Minds. So I'm watching the show, eating my breakfast before like school or something. Mom? Yeah, Lexi, what's up? Ed's on the TV. What are you watching? Criminal Minds. She's like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
He's actor of all time, honestly, ever. He's won.
Yep.
He has the record of most Emmys. Won.
I didn't realize that. I mean, I could definitely imagine that, and I could see why, because he was. It's so funny, because you mentioned how in real life he's just like his character. One of my favorite lines was from Mary Tyler Moore. He went up to Mary Tyler Moore, because I'm sure you know the show by now. He played her boss, Lou Grant. And he goes, "You got spunk." "Oh, thank you." "I hate spunk." Just the way he said it was so funny.
No, that's how he is. Like that. That I know exactly what you're talking about. That inflection of his voice. That's him. Like, honestly, that's not acting. That's him. That's him. That's who he is. And it's amazing. And it works great, because look at all the success he has. So, worth it.
I'm very happy you had a chance to work with him before, and he unfortunately passed away, that you had a chance to work with Uncle Eddie.
Yeah.
Another movie, though. You did a lot in your short career over here. My Adventures with Santa, Denise Richards, Patrick Muldoon, and I Dream of Jeannie, Barbara Eden.
Yeah, that was cool. I was a singing elf in that. So I was singing behind the scenes, and it was really cool, because I was on by myself, and I was just in this like big Santa workshop. That was filmed somewhere I think it was in Connecticut. Pretty sure, yeah. And that was really, really cool. And Patrick Muldoon was very, very nice. And then Barbara Eden and I took a picture. Sweetest lady ever. Seriously. And oh my gosh, she is stunning. Like, she is very beautiful, and she's very talented. And I had a great time filming that too. I only filmed for one day. It was quick, but it was fun. I mean, it wasn't really quick, because filming for one day is 10 hours, but
Exactly.
It's
the hurry up and wait. That's what they call it, the hurry up and wait. I was on a couple film sets, and it was this. I know exactly what you're talking about. They'll film 30 seconds or a minute of a scene. They're like, all right, cut, and then like they'll wait an hour. All right, get back in the same position you were. All right, let's do it again. Film for another 5 minutes. All right, cut.
Yep. It's like you got to get all the different angles. Yeah. So I really like film. I hope to do more films in the future. Right now I feel like I'm definitely more passionate about my music. So, I mean, there's times for everything, if something's meant to be, it will be, but you also got to work for it too. So that's something I'm trying to, figure out with my life. I'm going to hopefully over the summers when I'm going to get back into all this and like really pursue my music and acting careers. So we got things to look forward to, things we got to work for over the summer, because right now I'm so busy with school. It is ridiculous.
Talk about that, because you are quite the overachiever. Not one to rest on your laurels. You were accepted into 9 out of 9 colleges, and you chose the University of Hartford, and you are majoring in radiology. So not only
But
are you a singer, an actress, now you're going to be a radiologist.
yeah, well, I transferred from University of Hartford. I went there for my first semester, but I like being home. I get very homesick. So I came back home with my family now, and now I go to community college near us. So, but I'm still gonna be majoring in radiology, so I'm excited. And I don't know, because I've had so many concussions, I've always been curious with like the technology that I was being put into whenever I got a head CT or a CAT scan, and I kind of just like always wondered how it worked. I was like, why don't I just do that for a living? And that's what I've decided. And that's what I'm going to do.
You know what I like? When you decide something, you really do it. You're not
I
one of
do.
these people that just talks about you. You're a person of action. I like that.
I have a drive and I have a motivation.
Exactly. And you have the talent to back it up in everything that you do. So do you consider yourself an influencer?
No.
You know?
I want to. Deep down, my heart is saying, say yes, but I'm not. I want to be, kind of, but because it pays good.
No.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't think I am one. So.
Well, I tend to disagree with that from the stories you're telling me about all the sexy Lexis and people creating fan pages for you and all the other things being played at the Danbury Mall without your knowledge. I really think that you have some kind of influence on people.
I feel like no one really knows that it's me though, unless they personally know me. That's the thing. So I don't know. I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure out how to start blowing up more on TikTok. That's what I gotta do. I gotta do my homework.
It's getting late. You're already 19 years old. Come on. I mean, no,
I
18.
know.
Sorry. You're only going to be 18. 18, sorry. So you don't have that much time left to go. Come on.
I know. I gotta figure it out.
All right. It's before we leave. It was so great to have you on the show. I definitely have to have you back on the show because it was so much fun.
Do. Great time.
I love it. What's next, and where can people find you?
You could find me on Instagram at Lexi White EE, which is LexiWhitee, and that's the same for my TikTok as well. I'm going to be putting out more music soon, hopefully within the next couple months, and follow me to keep up on my journey. I'm singing at different venues, singing for different games, for sports teams and stuff. So if you want to follow along on my journey, by all means, you're welcome to do so.
Sexy Lexi.
Yes, you could become a sexy Lexi offspring.
Exactly. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you want to talk about?
Pretty sure you covered it all, Rich. You got it.
I like to do my job. Just like you, I take my job very seriously.
Good. It means a lot that you care so much.
We're the same.
We are the same.
We are the
Basically,
same.
even I don't know how people could tell us apart. I don't know.
I mean, looking at us right now, I'm just looking over at the left. I'm like, wait a minute. No, I'm on the other side.
I can't tell who's who. I don't get it.
All right. Just so the audience knows, I'll blink. There we go. Okay, so now they know that's me. Well, Lexi, it was so much fun having you on the show. I love your songs. I cannot wait to hear all the future releases, all the future successes. You have to come back. We're going to have another good time, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you so much for having me, Rich. It's been awesome being on here. Thank you.
That wraps up the latest episode of The Claws Corner. A huge thanks goes out to singer and actress Lexi White for taking time out of her extremely busy schedule to be on the show. I also need to thank editor extraordinaire John Bristol of Elmwood Productions for always doing a superb job editing this show each and every week and making it available to all. I am also extremely grateful to Joseph Timothy Quirk and Rob Bull for all of their hard work and dedication, making my show available on several Connecticut radio stations as well as Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Audible, and iHeartRadio. It's greatly appreciated. And lastly, but definitely not least, I need to thank you, the viewer, for always tuning in. Enjoy your day, everyone. All right, and